The Enforcement Directorate's prosecution complaint against Tahir Hussain contains a statement of his driver Rahul Kasana. Now, Kasana's statement was recorded on two separate occasions. The ED prosecution complaint, which is of course now part of the charge sheet, was filed in October 2020. Now, as per Kasana's statement, Tahir Hussain was handing over cash to two individuals related to the anti-CAA Delhi riots because he drove Tahir Hussain to Chand Baugh. So these are basically the statements being made and have been recorded by the ED of a gentleman called Kasana, who happened to be Tahir Hussein's driver, and it's during the course of his services rendered to Tahir Hussain that he in fact saw the handing over of cash on the part of Tahir Hussain to two persons who were associated allegedly with the anti-CAA and Delhi riots. So these are some of the allegations coming to the fore against Tahir Hussain, which have of course been part of the ED's proceedings in court and also its submissions to the court, which is of course deciding on the fate of Hussain, particularly with regards to the money laundering allegations filed against him under provisions of the PMLA. Let me in fact go across to Bhavtosh for more on this. Bhavtosh, so this is basically an eyewitness account of money transactions. One of the prime accused in the Delhi riots and alleged associates of his who were also part of the anti-CAA and Northeast Delhi riots. If you could just shed some more lights on what the ED has submitted to the court in this regard.
The prosecution complaint was filed way back in October 2020, and the court, however, has taken cognizance of that only yesterday. That means that court has accepted the charge sheet or the prosecution complaint yesterday, and they had in fact gone through the various documents that Enforcement Directorate has submitted, which included the statement of his driver. Rohit Kasana had in fact said that he in fact witnessed how the cash payment was made by Tahir Hussain, which included money that was being paid to one individual, and this in front of him Tahir Hussain had said that the money is being given to him for anti-CAA protest. More importantly, this is virtually a repeat of the statement that he had made before the police when the statement was being recorded post the riots. He had also said that he saw in front of him that Tahir Hussain had gone to Shaheen Bagh, and he saw that Shaheen Bagh, Tahir Hussain met Omar Khalid and also Safi. Now, this has been vehemently denied by Omar Khalid as well as Safi. Their counsels have also denied this. But the statement recorded under Section 50 of PMLA can be used as an evidence by the Enforcement Directorate. The statement is virtually same, and the Enforcement Directorate recorded his statement on two occasions, and this prosecution complaint was submitted in October 2020, where ED had said that through a web of shell companies, he in fact gave around 1.48 crore rupees to people who were protesting at various sites across Delhi.
And Bhavtosh, what's also of course very interesting is that the ED's complaint and its submissions before the court is a follow-up to the original scheduled offence that has been registered against Tahir Hussain, also under sections of the UAPA among others, for participation in the Delhi riots.
Siddharth, that case was first registered. There was two cases that were registered, yes. One by the crime branch and another one by a special cell of the Delhi police, which was in fact under the anti-terror law. ED took cognizance of that, and then they filed a case under PMLA, which is a case of money laundering.
Yes, so several proceedings now, of course, against Tahir Hussain, the former Aadmi Party councillor, and some of the observations that have been made in the courts prior to this as well, whenever charges against him have been brought to their notice, also involve on the part of the Delhi police submissions that he was part of an alleged conspiracy to foment riots in the national capital following the anti-CAA agitations at the time that Donald Trump had been visiting India when he was president as part of a bilateral visit. So these are some of the allegations against Tahir Hussain, also brought up in court, also his alleged association with some of the other individuals who've been named as part of the Delhi riots conspiracy as well, Bhavtosh, including the likes of Omar Khalid. These, of course, are part of the Delhi police's allegations against these individuals.
The Delhi police, in fact, said that Tahir Hussain had played a role, in fact, a big role when the riots broke out in Chand Baugh and also in Karkardooma Nagar. He, in fact, was the municipal councillor then. And what they have said was that he actively participated in the riots. One of the images that became viral was when he was standing on terrace and guiding his associates or his workers. Tahir Hussain denied all these charges. In fact, he said that he was defending his house and people living in the house. On the part of the Delhi police, they have said that they had recovered various weapons from his house, including improvised weapons, which were in fact used to attack people. The case of the enforcement directorate revolves around the money trail. They have said that from shell companies, money was transferred to people who were protesting across Delhi at that point of time. They were protesting for anti-CA protests. There were at least 13 to 14 locations where these protests were happening.
Right, Bhavtosh, thanks for that. In fact, we're also being joined by Shruti to take us through some of the details. But before I come to Shruti, let me in fact take in a reaction from the BJP. Shehzad Poonawala joins us on the phone line for his response. Shehzad, some extremely serious allegations being levelled now by the Enforcement Directorate before the PMLA court, and he's a former AAP councillor, also charged with conspiracy for the Delhi riots.
Not just allegations, my dear friend Siddharth. This is also that charges have been framed under the PMLA Act for money laundering, and the proceeds of that crime were used to funnel and fuel riots. And therefore, your channel today stands vindicated because your channel has constantly said that these riots were not organic, they were organized, they were not spontaneous but sponsored, they were not sahyog, they were a prayog, and this was the prayog which was being done by the Aadmi party, led by their councillor Tahir Hussain, who was the mastermind of these riots. You've also shown the charge sheet. Your reporters have shown the charge sheets, and they've also shown how the charges have been framed on how the entire riots was masterminded, how he orchestrated the murder of Ankit Sharma, the IB officer, and therefore today in totality one can say that Aam Aadmi Party ka haath dangaiyon ke saath, Tahir Hussain jaise लोगों के साथ, because they gave him protection. You remember, Amatullah Khan said that he's a Muslim, therefore he's being victimized. And they gave this entire riot a spin that this was an Islamophobic riot. But today the main mastermind is Tahir Hussain. So today that entire narrative of the lobby and your coverage, both have, one stands defeated and your coverage stands vindicated.
Thanks for that, Shehzad. And some days ago, even the Delhi High Court had rejected the bail application on the part of Umar Khalid as well, when he'd sought bail after having been charged under several provisions of the UAPA. Let me, in fact, go across to Shruti, who's taking us through some of the details that we've now managed to access about the specific allegations of money laundering against Tahir Hussain, including the testimony of his driver, Mr. Kasana.
Yes, Siddharth. So what I have with me here is the detail of the driver's testimony, in which let me go through the details to make it more clear about what's really happening. He says he revealed that he saw Tahir Hussain giving money to two persons who were related to the anti-CA protests / Delhi riots, because he drove Tahir Hussain in Chand Baugh area where the protest was going on. Tahir Hussain shouted to somebody to call one Suleiman Siddiqui, that after some time a person came and Tahir Hussain handed him over a bundle of money. From their conversation, it was revealed that he was Suleiman Siddiqui, and Suleiman Siddiqui had covered his face with a cloth. Moreover, Tahir Hussain asked Suleiman Siddiqui, and this is an important point, to keep the money with him as it could be used in anti-CA protests / gathering people, and also for any kind of nuisance or uproar. Not only this, Tahir Hussain asked him to make complete arrangements. So this testimony makes it clear that money was given in order to make required arrangements to create a riot.
Right, thanks a lot for that, and taking us through the testimony of Tahir Hussain's driver, who of course has talked about cash transactions involving Tahir Hussain and some of the other individuals associated with the anti-CA agitations and the Delhi riots.